Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalcode.com. Alright, so what irritates women? Pretty much everything that a man does. But don't worry, we're going to change that. Okay, so here's the deal. I was actually being funny when I was saying that, but it's actually, there's a lot of truth. Actually, not a lot that is absolutely truthful. Here's what I mean. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, a little bit of science. So the linear system in general, which is the left brain, the logical processor, goes in a line, L-I-N-E-A-R. That means linear, means line. Everything men do irritates women, especially when you're in your left brain. See, the home for you, you were born using your left brain. She was born using her right brain. It's very comfortable. It's when she feels that she's at home, it's normal to her, it's natural. And her mating system is connected to that side of her brain. So if you're in your left brain, yeah, you're irritating her, which means you're turning her off. So real quick, real briefly. So again, the left brain is the push energy. It means it goes out. It's the penetrating. Again, it's just like the penis. So the penis it goes in a line and it penetrates into the vagina. Okay, so this is what we do with everything. Our language is the linear external penetrating language. The way we talk is push energy. Our eyes, they literally like a laser beam, meaning a line, a linear. It's the linear laser beam that penetrates her eyes, and women don't like that. I know, but Mike, I thought women say they want you to gaze into their eyes. Yeah, gaze, not look into. They might say look into my eyes, but what they really mean is go into peripheral vision, dilate your pupils, and put your awareness on yourself inside, because this takes the pressure off. Otherwise, you're pushing into her. Don't do that. So this is something that I train you in the course. It actually takes a while. So I can give you the real brief synopsis right now, which really won't help you because this takes guys hours and even days to even begin to get to this. So instead of looking at it from right eye to right eye, which is what you're doing, that'll pull her into her left brain. You may not realize it, but when you're in your left brain, you're right eye dominant. When you're in your right brain, you're left eye dominant. Because the nerves cross from the left hemisphere to the right eye and the right hemisphere to the left eye. So all of our systems are linear. So real briefly, to fix the eyeball thing, first of all, take a half step back or a little bit more, okay? And then don't lean forward. Stand neutral. Do not lean over her. Do not lean forward. So the other thing you want to do is you want to expand your awareness from left to right. So if her face is a foot or 2 feet in front of you, let your vision go out about 6 inches and then expand all the way to the left and all the way to the right. And then drop your awareness inside your body. If you do those two things, and this is the third thing, breathe while she's talking. It'll help you to relax, and then it'll help her to start breathing. There's actually a technique that I teach in breathing, and it gives her space in her breathing, and it will really relax her. Remember the last video? It's all about giving her space in everything from physical space, eyeball space, communication space, and even breathing space. I'm going to give you a basic idea of space before I go on to this video's about. Imagine there's a circle inside you and then it expands all the way to the room. That creates space with your eyes and your unconscious mind, which will allow her to feel more comfortable. So it's a very quick general thing. We go much more in depth during the course. There's a lot more to it than that. Okay, here we are. So remember, the left brain is all about speed. It's about getting from point A to point B in the shortest distance, the most direct line as possible to get from point A to point B now. Men like it, women hate it. Do not talk fast. Slow down. Take a breath. And then start talking to her, okay? So here is a pattern that men do, and then I'll show you the female pattern. It's really simple. So the reason why a lot of you guys may not like my videos is you're like, well, yeah, why don't you get to the point? It's because these things need to be explained in depth. Otherwise, you won't understand them. Now, listen to what you just said. Get to the point. That's point A to point B. Get to the point. Get it? You're here, you want to get to the point, which is B. So men actually communicate in this way, and there's very little understanding. In fact, you walk away thinking you understand, but you have no clue what you were supposed to learn. So this point A to point B thinking and way of being, it's not just your communication, but when you drive your car, when you do things, it's like boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just like the penis going in and out, in and out, in and out. So I'm serious. Alright, this is it right here. Here's how men talk, and then I'll explain how women talk. So men go really quick. They give you 1 or 2 words. If you're lucky, a 3, and if you're even luckier, a phrase. And if you're really lucky, a whole sentence. Now I say this to women and they laugh so hard. They're like, oh, it's so true. It's like pulling teeth with men. It's like they're yeah, yeah, I agree, yeah, sure, Like you guys don't communicate. So here's your typical conversation between two guys. Guy A, blah blah blah. Guy B, blah blah blah. Guy A, blah blah blah. Guy B, blah blah blah. Guy A, blah blah blah. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like a goddamn ping pong competition, and it drives women nuts. There's a guy at the coffee shop that he knows what I do for a living. I say, hey, let me just give you some free tips. Oh, no. And he does this ping pong shit. And he goes, I don't get it. Why don't women want to talk to me? I'm like, well, I've been trying to explain this to you for 2 fucking years, but you don't want to fucking hear. So here's how women communicate. Woman A, blah, 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 blah. Notice the breathing. Blah 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 blah. Woman B. Blah 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 blah. By the way, that's me on the left when I used to fight in my 20s. It was a long time ago. And again, that was for Jacob Stitz Duran. Very famous World Cup man. He was my cut man and trainer. That's back in his school, American School of Kickboxing, ASK. Okay, so let me get back to it. So here's the deal. So men go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Really short, honestly 2 or 3 words, a phrase, maybe a sentence, and then the other guy cuts in. And that's what guys do. They will cut each other off, and they get mad and pissed, and they yell at each other. And here's the worst part. Nobody is listening to nobody. Nobody is letting anybody finish a complete thought. And that's the key. So the way you want to talk to a woman, there's a skill that I teach. I'm just going to give you the phrase for now, because that takes a while. So the skill is this: listen to understand. The first thing you're going to have to do is learn how to silence your mind completely. When you do that and then you open up, you can receive everything she's saying. Okay? So when she's talking, your job is to listen. Now listen closely to the phrase. Your job is to listen to understand. But most guys say, yeah, but what if I have a thought? Now you just cut off listening. The minute you start to think, you literally blocked listening to anything she is saying after that point. Now you're missing everything. And not only can she tell, hell, I can tell. Whenever I'm talking to them, they're thinking. It's like, dude, I might as well just walk away. They're not even listening. So the way women describe things, they use a lot more adjectives and adverbs to describe things more in depth. Another thing is the way women communicate is they describe a piece of the puzzle in detail, and then they'll go on to another one, talk, describe in detail, then they connect the two, and so forth. This is complete communication. So after you listen to her talk for 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, you're like, oh, I actually understand her. But if you only let her get 1 or 2 sentences out and then you interrupt her, there's no way you could have understood what she was trying to tell you. But this is the way that men communicate. I've actually seen men, hell, I've been part of this situation, where they cut you off, you go back and forth, and they assume, oh, well, I thought you were saying this. Like, no, and that's why I kept yelling. And you're like, shut the hell up. I'm trying to explain something. So with men, I've seen guys, let's say at a construction site or job site, go back and forth over the same subject every morning, going, God damn it, we just talked about this. Because nobody listened to nobody. They just kept cutting each other off. And it took them 6 weeks to finally go, God damn it, what I'm saying is blah, 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 blah. And one dude finally screams. The other guy goes, well, why didn't you say that in the first place? He goes, I was trying to, but you kept interrupting me and cutting me off. That's how men communicate. And it's dumb. This is why other men go up the corporate ladder and you don't. Because you don't know how to listen to understand. You literally completely shut up your mind. Do not, because okay, here's another one. Like, yeah, but I interrupt her because I'm trying to tell her that I know what she's going to say next. That's not listening, and that's rude as fuck. Don't do it. Now here's the deal. While you're listening to her, breathe in your nose, hold it for a second or two, and then breathe out your mouth. Breathe in your nose. And breathe out your mouth. So the whole time she's talking, you should be focusing on your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And what it's going to do is it's going to oxygenate your system, which is going to help you to relax. And then here's the really cool thing. Unconsciously, it's going to gain rapport with her body, and she's going to start breathing deeper and slowing down. And now it's her body's getting oxygenated, which relaxes her. And now she's connecting these feelings with you. See, one of the things that guys do, and men will do, is we try to impress women. That is absolutely the absolute wrong thing to do because it turns her off neurologically. Impress is push energy. That's male energy. Like the penis pushes, it presses. The brain is the male energy, the male thinking and language is the push linear external energy. You don't want to push because that closes her down, disconnects her from her mating system, and thus she got turned off. So this is what causes men to talk fast because they think, oh, I'm talking fast, I'm impressing her. No, she's looking at you like you're a little child, like you're an idiot because you're not communicating. The biggest part of communication is listening. Listening is 2/3, actually about 90% of communication. And the key word is learning how to listen to understand. There's actual skill set that I'm going to teach you how to do that will impress the hell out of women. But it's not about being impressive. It's about learning to listen to understand. So believe it or not, but during communication and listening, you want to get your breathing going so she can relax, so you can relax. So here's how it works. You just sit back like you're watching a movie. You listen to her. You watch her body language, which means you have to have expanded awareness. Your vision has to be expanded to all of her body language, okay? But most men laser beam and focus in on her mouth, her face, or her eyes. Well, you can't see her body language, and body language is a huge chunk of communication. If you miss that, you missed about 50% of her language and her communication. So here's the deal. Let her talk for paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. You just sit back and listen to understand. And then when she's done, she'll stop. Do not look for a place to cut in. Do not do that. And that's what a lot of guys do. I'm waiting and waiting. Okay, I'm going to jump on. No, don't do that. She will completely stop. She'll pause and she'll look at you for a moment. And then you start to talk. And then she'll listen to you in completion. It's a much more enjoyable way to have a conversation, and it adds to clarity and understanding. Hey, this is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. Remember, if you like this video, click subscribe, click the all bell, click the like button, and if you want, go ahead and make a comment. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.